Joe Rogan is on the air at least 7 hours a week, and his guests give him all his content for free.
So you had to lay perfectly still while the cobra slithered by you?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He never really even has to dream up a topic. So, looking for a proven marketing plan? Look no further. It's just that 75% of podcasts fail within 12 months. That seems like a lot of work. Here's a more reliable way to broadcast your value. For many people trying to make video, the challenge is not so much tech or being on camera as it is the hook. So how do you come up with script ideas? This is a subject as deep as an iceberg, and choosing a topic is only the visible part. You have dozens of topics at your fingertips all the time. You don't have to dream them up. You see these icebergs scattered all around your very own blue ocean. And actually, it isn't that much of a challenge to decide which one to use. If you sell, for example, financial education, just spin the dial on debt, saving, asset creation, and legacy. You could probably talk on any of these for hours at a time before you even come up for air. But what's the approach going to be? You can't just sit there and talk. You're not an interviewer drawing ideas out of others. That doesn't do anything to increase interest in your own work, unless you're trying to be Oprah 20 years ago. Now, to dive to the bottom of this iceberg, and understanding that this is only one approach among many, let's take another look at the short story. You already know how effectively story reaches deep down into our subconscious mind and creates new associations and meanings, beliefs, attitudes, and values. It's almost magic. It's certainly attractive, and it holds someone's interest very well. So the kind of story I want to describe to you today is very short, much shorter than you might think would be effective, but it's dense and highly effective. It's a format I'm working on with a client right now, and so far, he's getting great feedback from high-level executives. For example, aside from commenting on YouTube, which is useful, they'll send him a personal message, sometimes including the entire email thread from having sent his video all over the company, thanking him for his ideas and lessons, even asking for a meeting that he didn't even pitch. This is selling without persuasion. So, how do you lay out a story like that? We'll call this X is like Y. It has an A story and a B story. In your opening, you lay the groundwork for both stories by revealing something about yourself that others might find amusing or identify with. For example, if your lesson, not your story, your lesson is about a time you misread the signals in a boardroom and lost the sale, and you now attribute that to a quirk in your personality, tell us in the cold open what that quirk is. Maybe you like to be helpful, maybe to a fault. So helpful, you'd give tailoring tips to the orderly having some difficulty wrapping you in a straitjacket. Now, the A story is about how you kept correcting a CEO's use of technical language in your big proposal because you wanted to help him get it right. Of course, who would do such a thing? Not me, he said very, very quietly. Okay, the B story is about a time you decided to drive an exotic car, but you didn't realize the brake and accelerator were located in opposite positions. So first you tell the B story about driving and being stuck at a stoplight with everyone honking at you, mashing the brake down as hard as you can and not getting anywhere because you skipped the orientation because you were trying to be helpful to the overwhelmed rental car manager. Now you tell the A story of the boardroom, and the two stories suddenly fuse together and become a parable about selling. Finally, you just lay out the X is like Y part by saying that, for example, correcting others while you're trying to sell is like putting your foot on the brake while you're trying to accelerate. This is surprisingly empowering for your audience. Over time, it makes your world understandable and appealing based on how you've related it to the one they already know. And from then on, you begin to own this approach to topics and hooks. The topics are from your work, the hooks are from your life, It's also a combination completely authentic to you. Might even get you some podcast invites. I think almost any visible authority would tell you that vulnerability, expertise, and infotainment is a pretty good recipe for building your world 4 minutes at a time.